Tanner Britt reaches on a walk and then attempts to steal and gets run back to first. Landon Burns in the box right now. The Canes and Yeti knotted up after one inning at a run apiece. Simon Martone comes set. Not sure if that's a cutter or slider, but it just seems to start a little too early and make its way across before it gets into the strike zone for Martone this afternoon.
Martone's Martone's slider tunnels very well off his cutter and can fool most hitters with that.
Down the middle fastball, fouled off and gives Martone the advantage. 1-2 on the second batter here at the top of the second inning. Low and away, 2-2.
And a tight slider there from Martone. It's tough from the batter not to offer at that pitch.
Britt on first, Burns at the plate, and Mason White in the on-deck circle. No outs just yet, and a swing and a miss.
Martone going to pick up another strikeout there in the first out of the inning.
2 strikeouts now for Martone. The first against Gage Doss to end the first inning. And Mason White steps in. He's the shortstop, batting .214. And he looks at a first pitch called strike. Had to restart our broadcast as we were suffering without audio. Hopefully this resolves it for everybody. And White looks at 2 in a row from Martone. The 0-2 just misses on the inside.
It's a tough break there from Martone as he throws a pitch exactly where he wants it, but just doesn't get the call he wants. But he's still going to be ahead in the count and hope to make another good pitch to strike this batter out or roll a ground ball, which would be even better to make a double play and get him out of the inning.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Up.
Fouled off the bat and just tipped off a Modrak's glove there. It's tough if you're the catcher on that pitch, but you could definitely help your pitcher out sometimes by catching those. But definitely, it's kind of a luck thing coming off the bat of a foul tip into the catcher's glove.
Slapped foul into the backstop. Modrak catches it on the rebound. No points for that.
Wish there was.
And for the third time now, the 1-2 to Mason White. Hit hard, bounces over Shadle into left field. James Green will scoop that up. And Tanner Britt will advance to second and hold there as we look at the last batter in the lineup for the Yeti, Owen Liberto. He's batting .275, playing first base. Just a pitching duel here last night between both teams. A bunch of hits by the Yetis never really amounted into anything more than 1 run. And half that many hits from the Hurricanes ended up affording them a 2-1 victory in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Casey Corbett last night did a great job of holding runners on, and I believe he picked off 2 or 3 people last night. I know he picked off a runner on second base, and I know he also picked off a runner on first base. So Casey Corbett did an amazing job of runners on base last night, considering they had 10 hits.
I lost track of the lineup. This is Keontae Booker, the third baseman. He just took a breaking ball on the inside for a called strike. Martone tries to tunnel the next pitch middle away and does not get Booker to bite. So we're at the top of the lineup Booker walked to start off the game. Nearly the same pitch that started off Booker's second at bat, but a little bit higher, and that one misses the strike zone. Should be 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out and runners on first and second. And a slider that gets Booker to swing and miss.
It's going to bring the count to 2-2 here versus a very good hitter in Keontae Booker. Booker had 2 hits against us last night, and he's facing a 2-2 count here against Martone.
And a pitch clock violation will be waged against Martone.
I guess really not the worst thing that could have happened there, considering the pitch didn't appear to be a strike. But
so an extra ball will be added to the count, and it is now full on Keontae Booker. Check swing doesn't go, and that'll load up the bases with 1 out. So Booker gets walked in both of his at-bats. Evan Estes, the catcher, singled in his first at-bat, ended up getting thrown out at third. Martone goes back to that slider, trying to get the Yetis to reach and miss with the end of the barrel, but doesn't get Estes to bite.
Estes had a hit in his first at-bat through the 5-6 hole.
Fastball on the outside portion of the strike zone. Gets the catcher to swing and foul it off.
He was thrown out by Nick Labello from right field in his first at-bat.
The 1-1. And he gets hit. And that'll walk in Landon Burns. Logan Norris singled in his first at-bat. And Martone deals him a little chin music on a fastball that's up and in, but he doesn't flinch. The 2-0. And the breaking ball finds the strike zone. The 2-1 outside. Martone struggling to command his pitches into the strike zone this afternoon. Modrak and Martone taking some time to come to a decision. And a foul tip into the glove of Modrak on a fastball. Heater right down the middle inside of the strike zone. on Logan Norris.
Norris from Mobile, Alabama.
The full count. And he gets him on the inside. Third strikeout on the day for Martone. That'll make it 2 outs. And this brings up Nick Morris, the DH. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. And he turns his head away as a breaking ball doesn't seem to spin down and in as Martone intended. The 1-0. Martone has painted all the corners, up and in, down and in, out and away, and he's at 57 pitches. We're only in the second inning, and there's already a little bit of activity in the bullpen. And he finds the called strike on the outside edge. The 3-1. And that fills up the count.
It's going to bring the count to 3-2 here, full up. With 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The runners are going to be moving here.
The payoff pitch to Nick Morris, and he fouls that out of play. The reset on the payoff pitch to Nick Morris, and that sails up high and walks in a run. Coach Herring is calling time. He's going to go speak with the freshman and already pointed out to the bullpen, so that'll be a short day of work for Martone as we get a pitching change here in the second inning. Not going to be a happy camper, but the Hurricanes looking to make it 2 in a row after a walk-off last night here at Frazier Field. They're going to provide relief to their starting pitcher.
And your normal closer, Ben Blondino, is going to come in here to relieve Martone in the bottom of the second.
Ben Blondino comes in out of the bullpen as the first reliever here in Game 2. He's owning a 4.76 ERA. He's got 17 strikeouts on 17 innings pitched and an opposing batting average of .306. He's given up 19 hits, 11 runs after trying to give you a stat on how many batters faced. 62 batters faced. Blondino out of Forest, VA, went to Lynchburg Christian.
Blondino actually informed me on the last stream that Lynchburg Christian doesn't exist. He went to Liberty Christian. It's they got it listed as Liberty or Lynchburg Christian on the paper, and I'm not sure that school's a thing.
We'll have to get word to the front office and update the roster information. 2 out, bases loaded for Blondino, trying to help his starting pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he gets him. Swing and a miss.
And Blondino fired up after picking up that strikeout, as he's going to come back in the dugout and hopefully spark some energy and to the hitters so we can scratch a couple runs across here in the top of the third, or here in the bottom of the second.
Little reminder that Louisburg College Baseball, brought to you here live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network, is being brought to you in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, quality and feeding of the community for over 40 years. Magnum Insurance Agency with offices in Coates and Dunn, and Johnny's Barbecue, Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. We're back to live action.
And Modrak going to put a swing onto one, but it's going to go down the third baseline foul. Count going to go to 0-1 here for Modrak, and he's going to look to work his way back up. So Nash misses with a breaking ball there. It's going to bring the count to even at 1-1.
Nash at 17 pitches as we started the bottom of the second inning. He gets a called strike to the leadoff batter. Modrak comes in batting .344. He has 4 stolen bases. He's the catcher yesterday and today. As Caden, you mentioned, he's pulling full-time duty behind the plate as Tewa Costello has a little bit of a tender hamstring. He slaps one on the left side.
And that's going to work.
Mason White dives at it and knocks it down. He guns it into second just in case. Jake Modrak looks to stretch that. So a leadoff single for the catcher.
It's a way to get just enough of it, just right in that 5-6 hole, enough to where the shortstop has to make a dive and play, and he gets a glove on it, but just bounces away from him.
Swing and a miss, and Modrak. Takes off for second, but Kreiner swung so hard he lost his balance falling into the strike zone as Evan Estes, the catcher, was winding up. So batter's interference for Steven Kreiner unintentionally will cause an out. And that'll require Modrak to return to first base and make way for Nick Lobello, right fielder.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 39, Nick Lobello.
And the first pitch to Nick Lobello, a called strike down the middle. Jack Nash comes set, deals outside. And he fouls off the next offering. The count now 1-2 on the right fielder.
Nick Lobello with a 1-2 count here. He's got Modrak on first base. Decent speed in Modrak. And Bello's going to watch ball 2 there to even up the count. Nick Lobello hails from New York. It's a transfer from D1 in New York, Hofstra University. And he's going to look to do some damage here with a runner on base. Only one out here in the bottom of the second.
The pickoff again for the second time in a row. Not in time, but Owen Liberto over there is confident he's getting that tag down pretty quick. Jake Modrak, though, isn't having anything of it. He's getting back and getting dirty. Hard hit to the shortstop. White flips it 6-4, and 3 gets him. An infield double play for the Yetis. Snuffs out the Hurricanes after 2. Hurricanes trailing by 2 as we move to the third. Ben Blondino back on the bump for the Hurricanes. Came in relief in the second. behind Martone. He had 2 outs and bases loaded. Was able to strike out
And
Gage Doss.
Blondino going to plunk the first batter in the elbow there, and he's going to walk down to first base.
Tanner Britt, I do believe, was the batter to start off the top of the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up Landon Burns, left fielder. He got walked in his first at-bat. Inside pitch just gets past a jumping Anthony Jones, and Burns slips trying to round first, and he'll have to hold as Tanner Britt is able to get around to third from first on a squirrely base hit on the right side. First 2 batters aboard now here in the top of the 3rd inning with Mason White coming up. He's 0 for 1. The 0-2, and he gets him. A second strikeout for Ben Blondino. First out of the inning. Runners first and third. And the fastball rides high to Jake Modrak, who comes out looking. Burns on first, Britt on third, and Owen Liberto, the first baseman, at the plate. Liberto is 1 for 1. And Jones misses the tag on Burns as he spins to his left. Seemed to think Burns was going to come in standing up. Instead, Burns went down head first. I think he had plenty of time. Got to go down to the base, to the...
Just looked like a bit of a hesitation, but...
Now Burns goes, and Modrak throws. The throw allowed to go through by Cusick. Fortunate for the Hurricanes, gets tied up in Burns as he's sliding into second. And interestingly, Britt holds at third.
An interesting spot for the first base coach to be standing here. He's almost standing in our dugout.
Yeah, very close to the Hurricanes' safety screen.
I don't know if he's trying to pick up Modrak's signs or what's going on here, but he's definitely not standing in the coach's box there.
Looks like it's head coach John Grigg on the far right. And Owen Liberto skies one out of play, and James Green doesn't give chase into the Yetis bullpen. He did that a couple weeks ago and came up a bit sore, but he made a catch that was spectacular on the left side of your screen when he did that. And Blondino's breaking ball gets Liberto to swing right over the top for a third strikeout since coming in, and the second of the inning, back-to-back, Mason White and Owen Liberto whiffing. Top of the order now, Keontae Booker. He walked in both of his at-bats, and he looks at a first pitch called strike. Booker, the third baseman for the Yeti. Only batting .250 as a leadoff. And Blondino answers back after missing on the last pitch with a called strike there to get the advantage. The 1-2 and the fastball outside. Blondino working fast. And off speed, gets him looking. 3 in a row for Blondino. And the Hurricanes are pumped up now, looking to answer back after leaving 2 on base in the top of the third inning. Yetis and the Hurricanes facing off right now in Game 2 this afternoon of a 3-game weekend set here at Louisburg College in Louisburg, North Carolina. Game 1 right here last night, started at 6 o'clock, ended only in about 2 hours of a pitching duel between the 2 starting pitchers, Casey Colbreth and I believe Jack Gowan. And those 2 young men went over 100 pitches, close to 110. I think it was 113, 112 between the 2 of them to be specific. And Casey Colbreth, after 8 innings, ends up picking up the win. Behind him, Garrison White closes out the 9th. And James Green walked it off in a home run into deep right field, off into the darkness.
Maybe a bit of a good coach decision there from, even though Colbreth was pitching great, just taking your starter out in the 8th inning and allowing a closer to come in and end the game. And Cleveland left their starter in all 9 innings, and he got walked off in the bottom of the 9th by James Green. So,
yeah, great pitching duel from both teams, both starters just going deep into a 9-inning game, and absolutely just a horse race right down to a photo finish. That photo being of James Green stroking one over the fence. He has come up with 5 home runs in about the last 5 games. He has been on a tear here as the Hurricanes get to midseason. And right now, the designated hitter and leadoff for the Hurricanes, Teowa Costello. Costello batting .409 coming into the game. And he has been getting on base a lot for the Hurricanes. He has 25 stolen bases. Jack Nash deals, and Costello skies one out of play. 44 people in the live stream. Sorry for the mishap. Couldn't control whatever was going on. Our audio wasn't making it, but now it is. Thanks for joining us or rejoining us today. If you're in here watching live, let us know where you're coming from and who you're here in support of. Probably a mixed bag if I had to guess as we close in on 50 viewers. Bringing you Game 2 out of a 3-game set and Game 1 of a doubleheader for today. We're on the Louisburg Sports Network, live from behind the backstop on YouTube. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Teowa Costello chops one foul off the home plate. Jack Nash deals the 1-2, and that too gets fouled off. And the fastball hacked hard by Costello, but just a little bit under it, shears it off straight back into the netting.
And if that net wasn't there, I believe that one would have came straight back through the window here in the press box.
Yeah, thank goodness for the invention of backstop netting. Not sure what they did in the early 1900s. Nash deals, and that one slides away up and over as Costello holds off.
Back then, nobody had any teeth, so it didn't matter anyway.
The 2-2 outside. Crew chief Justin Edwards says not close enough. Josh Nayadek on the infield making the calls. He's off out of your field of view, and a fly ball in the left field. Oncoming was Landon Burns, but he didn't read it well enough to get to it, and that drops in for a single for Teowa Costello.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 1, Colin Cusick.
Getting the leadoff batter on at the beginning of an inning is always an advantage, and you can always play some really good baseball like this.
Costello had popped out to the center fielder in his first at-bat to start the bottom of the first, and here he just singled and got himself over there. The throw is going to get away, and he holds tight at first, even though could have been an interesting outcome had he taken off and was aware of it. Gives a little pat on the back to Owen Liberto. Great sportsmanship by the Louisburg Hurricanes designated hitter. Colin Cusick now with a strike on him. Fouls off the next with an attempted bunt. Cusick 0 for 0. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He comes into the game batting .341 as the second baseman here pretty solidly tied down for the season. The 0-2. Cuffed, loop, second baseman Logan Norris in shallow right field with Gage Doss coming in behind him for backup, and that makes it 1 out and a runner on.
It's going to be just in on the hands there to Colin Cusick, and he's going to flare it over there to the second baseman, and he's going to be camped under it to make the out. So.
Evan Slowinski steps in. He had a fly out to the left fielder Landon Burns in his first at-bat. And the first offering thrown by Estes. And he gets Costello as he goes in. Not low enough. Caught stealing with 2 outs now for Evan Slowinski. The 1-0. Slider way outside from Jack Nash. He's at 42 pitches as we're in the bottom of the third. Slowinski hacks that one off, battling. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. A 2-run game. And Nash just misses. Such a tough angle for us to be watching the game at. Those low strikes actually look like they could be just at the bottom. The 3-1 inside, brush back, and Slowinski will walk down to first with 2 outs. Kenny Shadle singled hard to the left side through the 5-3 hole, 5-6 hole rather, into left field. In the first inning, helped Colin Cusick get around to third and eventually score. Shittle looks at a first pitch from Jack Nash, a fastball that finds the strike zone. That sounded like a handful. The pitch inside under the hands. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Slowinski on first. After getting the walk out of Nash, Nash is at 46 pitches, and the pickoff not in time. The 1-1 outside. Nate Norris, thanks for joining. Jacqueline Marlette, always a true fan, watching all our games and broadcasts. Thanks for joining again. The 2-1. Evan Estes blocks it just as it gets to the earth between his legs. The 3-1 to Shadle, an off-speed pitch, and he'll walk. So Nash seems to be fading here at 50 pitches. Slowinski down to second, Shadle to first, and Anthony Jones, who singled in his first at-bat, steps up. Head coach John Grigg makes the walk out to the starting pitcher, Jack Nash. Conversation, we have no idea, can only imagine. Caden, you're catcher. When you get called out to the bump, when the coach comes out to talk with the pitcher, what are usually the conversations that play out there?
Really just what the pitcher's feeling and really how he's feeling, his command for his pitches, and just kind of like slowing his tempo down and making him feel more calm out there. Just normally whenever you can get really overwhelmed on the mound, so the coach probably just come out there to slow his tempo down and get his nerves calm.
The first pitch to Anthony Jones, a breaking ball from Jack Nash. It goes up, comes down, but it still stayed a little too high to be called a strike by Justin Edwards. The 1-0. Low outside corner, and Jones is finicky. He is a very selective batter. The 1-1. And a middle gets fouled off out of play. You ever get caught off guard by a coach when he gets out to the mound asking just like a totally non sequitur question to throw the pitcher off?
Nah, that's normally the catcher kind of thing, you know.
The 1-2?
Yeah, that's normally like a catcher kind of thing to go out there and make him laugh or make him smile or just get his mind off the game. But, of course, yeah, probably a couple times coach came out there and cracked a joke.
Swing and a miss. Jack Nash works himself out of trouble, leaves 2 on as we go to the 4th inning here at Frazier Field. Hurricanes and the Eddies. A 2-run game in favor of Cleveland Community College right now. Louisburg College baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, being brought to you by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, quality for over 40 years. Mangum Insurance Agency, offices in Coates and Dunn. And Johnny's Barbecue, whole hog, Eastern North Carolina barbecue. Caden Lasley, myself, Bill Martone, bringing you live action from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. About 45 people watching in the live stream. Thanks again for joining us. You're watching game 2 out of 3, but game 1 of 2 in a doubleheader today. So last night was game 1. If you haven't heard enough of it, James Green walked it off for the Hurricanes with a solo home run into right field last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. After a pitching duel that played out right here between 2 starting pitchers that went north of 110 pitches each before the final decision was made by that walk-off home run. James Green with his 5th of the season and 5th of at least 5 games. And right now, Ben Blondino serves up an off-speed soft serve ice cream cone to the first batter and gets him swinging. Evan Estes, the second in the lineup and catcher. Blondino ended the third getting the leadoff Keontae Booker looking at a called third strike. It was 3 strikeouts in a row. 2 fans and a window shopping for Ben Blondino had come in relief in the second for Martone, who started and just didn't have it today at all. He tried but did not succeed, and now Blondino is trying to pick up and lead the charge for the Hurricanes. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, slap to Kenny Shadle, scoops it up, throws it across, and a 5-3 to start the inning from Evan Estes. Logan Norris.
It's a good pitch from Blondino there on the outer half. He's going to get the batter to hit a soft dribbler to Kenny Shadle, and Shadle's going to make the throw over to first to pick up the first out of the inning.
Hard hit, right side. Cusick unable to get to it, reaches on his glove side, but it was right through the 3-4 hole on the right of the infield. He reaches on the first offering. That is Logan Norris, and it makes way for Nick Morris, the designated hitter. He walked and was hit by a pitch in reverse order there, meaning he was hit by a pitch in the first and then walked in the second. Didn't get to the plate in the third, and here we are in the top of the 4th. Blondino's fastball down the middle gets looked at and evens up the count, 1-1 with 1 out and a runner on first. Gage Doss is on deck. Two strikes on the designated hitter. The 1-2. Off speed, hacked on the left side. Shadle bobbles it, and an E5 will let runners advance and touch first. Reached on an error. The old ROE in the book. And that makes way for the right fielder, Gage Doss. Styles actually in for Doss. Riley Styles swings over the top of one. The tag down at third, not in time. Logan Norris reaches third. Nick Morris reaches second. And 1 out with runners in scoring position for the right fielder, Riley Styles. Swing and a miss as he steps out. I think they call that stepping into the bucket, right? Back foot just goes out of the box. And Blondino picks up yet another K.
Blondino been very effective so far coming into the game for the Hurricanes. It's allowed a hit and an error this inning. He's got 2 runners on base, first and second.
Tanner Britt, he's 0 for 1 and in the box right now. The 1-1. Outside, Modrak with the nice backhanded grab as it bounces off the opposite batter's box. definitely prevented a run from scoring right there. Fastball rides high. Get a view of Evan Slowinski at short. Swing and a miss. Blondino's dialed today, it seems. His breaking ball is just getting the Yeti in a multitude of ways. The full count. Hit the Shadle. He keeps that one in front of him. And across, 5-3 to end the inning, leaving 2 on.
And great inning from Blondino there, as he allows a hit and then an error, but he doesn't let it affect him by picking up 2 strikeouts there at the end of the inning.
So Shadle started the inning with a 5-3, and he ended it with a 5-3. Sitting in the middle of there was a K for Blondino. The Hurricanes now need to come to the plate with some active bats and base running. Shadle left off. I take that back. I think it was Jones. Coming up will be Green, Modrak, and Kreiner. Yetis of Cleveland Community College with 3 runs on 5 hits. Hurricanes so far only 1 run on 4 hits, with 1 error. Starting pitcher for the Yeti still on the mound here. We'll see him in a moment, Jack Nash. Nash has faced 14 batters so far through 56 pitches. Has 1 strikeout and 2 walks. He's given up 4 hits and a run. As James Green gets ready to step in, he lined out to the first baseman in the first inning to end it. But he also walked it off last night right here in dramatic fashion. The second of the season for Green, unless I'm missing a third. The 0-1 to Green, outside from Jack Nash. The 1-1. Fastball, low and inside, misses. Again, crew chief and home plate umpire Justin Edwards making the calls from behind the plate with Josh Nayadek on the infield. Hard hit to the second baseman, and a 4-3 will get James Green. Jake Modrak singled in his first at-bat in the second inning. Stepping in for his second trip to the plate this afternoon.
Modrak had a hit through that 5-6 hole off the shortstop's glove in his last at-bat.
Comes in batting .344, and the fastball offering from Jake Nash down the middle for a called strike. Same ball, this time gets caught. And a 4-3, spectacular play for the Yeti. You got to give him credit. The second baseman, Logan Norris, going toward the middle infield, picks it up and makes the throw off balance to his first baseman, Owen Liberto. Back-to-back ground balls to the second baseman.
A decent play over there from Norris. Going to take a hit away from Modrak.
Steven Kreiner got called out in his first at-bat. Bloops one. And a 5-3. That was a quick 1-2-3 inning. See if Ben Blondino and the Hurricanes can answer back with their own 1-2-3 when the Hurricanes come back to the plate. Labello, Costello, and Cusick will lead it off for the Hurricanes in the 6th, but right now, sorry, that'll be in the 5th, but right now to start the top of the 5th for the Yeti, Burns, White, and Liberto. Louisburg College Baseball, brought to you in part by our sponsors for the 2025 season, Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, communities, families, farms for 40 years, and Mangum Insurance for every occasion, out of offices in Coates and Dunn. Johnny's Barbecue, Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue right here in Louisburg, North Carolina, right out front of Walmart. Go check them out. Let them know the Louisburg College baseball team sent you if you should frequent any of our sponsors. Game 2 of 3 and Game 1 of a doubleheader between the Cleveland Community College Yetis and the Louisburg College Hurricanes. Ben Blondino back on the bump, toeing the slab as the first relieving pitcher. And another breaking ball, off speed. Gets Landon Burns way out front for a swing and a miss. He singled, and a ground ball. Colin Cusick backhand, and over. The Hurricanes unable to answer back on the 4-3 attempt. Jones got pulled off the bag. So an infield single to start off by Landon Burns. And Mason White, he struck out in his last at-bat against Blondino. Modrak throws down to Jones, trying to get the leadoff runner, Burns, but unsuccessful. The pitch to Mason White, a called strike. The pickoff, not in time. The 0-1 inside, under the hands of White. He comes in batting .214. He's the shortstop for the Yeti. 8th, rather, in a lineup of 9. And the 1-1 popped up out of play on the right side. Friends and family in the live stream this afternoon, thanks for joining. If you're out there watching, you're of the nearly 50 people watching this live, let us know where you're coming from around the country or the world for that matter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High fly ball left field. James Green going back just before the track and gets under it. And a can of corn. FO7 for Mason White. If you don't know, FO, fly out. 7 is the left fielder. And the bottom of the lineup, Owen Liberto, the first baseman. Looks at a first pitch, breaking ball, called strike. He struck out in his last at-bat against Blondino and singled in the bottom of the second, or top of the second, rather. The 0-1, another breaking ball, off speed, swing and a miss, over the top. Blandino is hot. The 0-2 misses low and away.
Blandino with 1 to waste there. He's going to throw a slider, and it's just going to miss away there.
And he gets him looking. The old window shopping. Backwards K. And Liberto not happy with that. And brings it back to the top. Keontae Booker. He struck out looking in his last at-bat. Walked in his first 2. And now he takes a deep breath and steps in for the 4th time this afternoon. Yanks one foul into his own bullpen, rather, on the left field line. Coach Herring yelling to Kenny Shadle, tighten up on that line. Fastball misses outside. Middle infield playing true and back in the hole on each side. And an off speed gets Booker swinging. He shakes his head. He says, yep, you got me.
And Blandino going to look to make a great pitch to retire Booker.
Let's go! Let's go!
Gets away from Modrak, and Landon Burns advances on a wild pitch. Two out and a 2-2 count. Ben Blandino deals, pops him up, left side. Slowinski calls for it. Foul territory, and he makes the catch. 2 left on as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina, as the Hurricanes take on the Yetis in Game 2 of a 3-game homestand set and Game 1 of a doubleheader on a Saturday. College baseball season in full swing as we're in mid-season with pollen in the air and sun in the sky. High 70s for the weather forecast this afternoon. Not a chance in anywhere that we will see any precipitation. Humidity in the mid-40s makes it moderate and comfortable with about 10 miles an hour of wind out of the southwest. Absolutely gorgeous day here in the end of March as we get ourselves ready to cross over into April as the second half of the season takes place, and these two teams battling it out for second place right now. Last night's win for the Hurricanes broke a second place tie between the two clubs, pushing Louisburg into the second place spot. But the outcome in the D2 West standings looking a little bit like this right now.
Leading off the third base, the right fielder number 39, Nick Labello.
Nick Labello steps in, hacks at the first offering. Labello now behind in the count, 0-2. Nash at 65 pitches. He deals. And a check swing gets him. And Labello gets thrown out on a drop third strike. Tewa Costello, top of the order, second of the inning. And a fastball that misses just underneath the strike zone on the designated hitter. Hard hit. Tanner Britt out in center field calls off Landon Burns. He jumps for it as he gets to the track. And that's a quick 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 1, Colin Cusick.
Cusick popped out to the second baseman in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning. He was also hit by a pitch in the first. And he looks at a first pitch called strike from Jack Nash.
And that one's going to be a tough call there from Cusick. Home plate umpire is he's calling it a bit outside there to Jack Nash.
Nash a little bit over the top with the fastball, puts it down in the below the strike zone. Hard hit right side, opposite field single for Colin Cusick.
A great piece of hitting from Colin Cusick there. So he's going to take a middle away pitch backside for a single there to start the inning with 2 outs.
The shortstop, number 6, Evan Slowinski.
It's going to bring up your shortstop here, Evan Slowinski. Hopefully Slowinski can work some magic here and maybe scratch one across here for your Hurricanes.
Inside, pops on the right side. Owen Liberto chases it but runs out of room as it goes into the dugout. Can you run around that screen and catch it in the dugout of the opposing team?
I'm not sure. I'm sure that's a question we've all had our whole life, but I'm actually still to this day not very sure.
You might not be met with friendly faces if you do.
Yeah, definitely not in an opposing dugout.
Runner goes. Estes throws. It's going to be wide, and Colin Cusick comes up with a stolen base.
And Slowinski with an RBI opportunity here with a runner in scoring position. He's got a 1-1 count here with 2 away, and he's going to look to do some damage.
He's 0 for 1. He walked in his last at-bat, and he flied out to left field, and he looks at a fastball down the middle. And the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position at second. 2 outs. The Hurricanes, as Caden just said, need to scratch one across the plate by hook or by crook. And Slowinski hacks off the next offering from Jack Nash. Nash persevered and he found his groove. He's been productive as we've found the middle of the game here in the 5th inning. But he's eventually going to run out of runway. Straight toward the second baseman, and a 4-3.
Right toward the second baseman there, and he's going to make a play on ground ball from Slowinski, which was hard hit, but it's going to be the 3rd out of the inning.
Shadle, Jones, and Green will be up in the 6th for the Hurricanes, but right now, coming up, Estes, Norris, and Morris. Louisburg Sports Network, bringing you Hurricanes baseball this season. As Louisburg College baseball program being brought to you in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, farms, families, and communities. 40 years of service. Mangum Insurance Agency, offices at Coates and Dunn with insurance for every occasion. Johnny's Barbecue, Eastern North Carolina. Whole Hog Barbecue here in Louisburg, North Carolina. Caden Lazley and myself, Bill Martone, bringing you Hurricanes baseball this season. And the first pitch to start off the top of the 6th inning, fouled off out of play by Evan Estes, the catcher. He singled, was hit by a pitch, and grounded out to Kenny Shadle at third in his last at-bat. That started off the 4th inning. And this one, almost a repeat, but goes by the third base in foul territory.
And breaking ball just going to miss high there from Blandino. Still going to be ahead in the count. Going to look to make a really good pitch here. Good pitch there, just misses just away to catcher Evan Estes.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter. The off-speed breaking ball. Estes does not bite this time. He saw plenty of his teammates chase after that. Oh, take that back. It's full count. Estes psyched me out. Home plate umpire and crew chief Justin Edwards reminds everybody, including myself, full count now after the last offering. And that one he fouls off on the right side.
Always nice to have at least one person that knows what's going on here. And normally it's the umpire. Which it should be, but a little confusion here and there up here in the press box, but
keeps it entertaining, I'm sure.
It does. Definitely does.
Blandino with the payoff, and he misses him. Walks him, and that'll bring up Logan Norris. Norris with a leadoff single. Well, led off his day with a single in the first, struck out in the second, and then singled again in the 4th. So his 4th trip into the odd side of the plate and batter's box. Breaking ball gets past Modric, and Estes will advance on a pass ball. Norris 2 for 3.
Norris going to foul one off right here behind the screen. It's going to bring the count to even with a runner on second base. Leadoff runner on second base.
Blandino about to deal the 1-1. Inside, attempted bunt. Nearly gets Norris on the hand.
In on the hands there, and probably right where you want to put it whenever you see somebody square around like that. Pretty good execution from Blandino there.
Blandino at 67 pitches. A little bit of warm-up going on in the bullpen.
I believe that's Harrison Lombardi down there warming up in the bullpen.
The 2-2 slap to Cusick on the right side. 4-3. Puts an out on the board as Evan Estes will advance to third. So a sac infield ground ball out for Logan Norris. And Nick Morris, designated hitter. He was hit by a pitch, walked, and reached on an error. And right now, one of the coaches for the Yeti is chatting with the batter just to the left on your screen. And that immediately draws the infield in with 1 out and a runner on third. Blondino deals a strike down the middle. Jones on the right side at first, out of view in this shot, as is Colin Cusick. Hard hit. Slowinski dives, tries to knock it down, but it gets through. A hit and run gets Estes across. Cheerful bunch that are ahead by 3. After a sore disappointment served up to them by James Green last night. But this game isn't over just yet. And there's plenty of time for the Hurricanes to come back when they get to the plate next. Riley Stiles, he came in as a replacement for Gage Doss, the right fielder. One bounce, backhanded by Slowinski. Tries to get it over to Jones. Jones throws the third. Just not in time, but a great effort as it ricocheted off that barrier in front of the Hurricanes dugout, the safety screen. Jones barehanded it, turned around to Shadle, fired it across from foul territory. But Nick Morris able to get under the tag head first at third. Slowinski easily saved a run from scoring and an extra base for Stiles. And now Coach Herring is going to have a conversation with both Blondino and the infield. Tanner Britt steps in for the 4th time. Struck out, hit by a pitch, and grounded to Kenny Shadle at third. Runner goes and then retreats. Cusick collapsed out of the right side of your screen into the shallow backfield behind the mound. He was going to be the cutoff if Modrak threw down. That one ricochets, and it'll be a run scored without any opportunity. Nick Morris crosses the plate and proceeds to slip in the grass behind home plate. Riley Stiles reaches second on a pass ball, and Tanner Britt still at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and a runner on second. Blondino deals. High fly ball, Nick Labello in right, steps back, under it, catches it. And he hits the cutoff on the middle infield. How's the game looking so far, Caden?
Looking pretty good over here on my end. Besides the score.
Swing and a miss, throw down to third. He puts the tag on. Shadle comes up limping, though he did get the out over there on the throw as Riley Stiles
looking a bit better now as
collides into him.
As Modrak picks up that picks up the out with the throwdown to get us out of the inning there, and hopefully pick up some momentum on our offense here, and so we can get some runs and tie this ball game.
Landon Burns will be back at the plate when the Yetis come back to hit. But right now, Kenny Shadle, Anthony Jones, and James Green due up for Louisburg College Hurricanes.
Number 30,
Kenny
Kenny Shadle.
Shadle leading the Hurricanes with 11 home runs and 31 RBIs. He's batting .383 just behind Teoa Costello. Looks at a first pitch fastball that goes beneath the strike zone. Jack Nash still on the mound, and he brushes back Shadle.
That one going to be into Shadle, right at his feet there. It's going to give Shadle the advantage here in a hitter's count at 2-0.
Nash at 80 pitches as we start the bottom of the sixth. The breaking ball outside.
Probably going to be an automatic take here to Shadle with considering we're down 4 runs.
3-0 count on the leadoff hitter, I'd say so. And Nash deals up the commensurate, or what's the right word there, the expected fastball.
For a strike. Normally in 3-0 counts, that fourth pitch is a strike.
And now he finds the inside with that same fastball.
It's a pretty good pitch there from Nash.
Even Shadle had to ask home plate umpire Justin Edwards. That was inside, right? The full count to Shadle. Swung on. Hit high in left field. Landon Burns under it in foul territory. And he comes up with it as he gets into that deep left field corner. And the track out there is pretty soft and could be pretty tricky to manage and navigate, but Landon Burns pulls it off.
Pretty good catch from Burns over there in left field.
Anthony Jones.
Jones 1 for 2. He singled in his first at-bat in the first inning. Bottom of the sixth. Second batter, Anthony Jones.
Nash's pitch going to be good there.
Well, as long as everybody agrees not to swing on a 3-0, it seems he'll find the strike zone. But he does miss there, and Jones draws a walk.
And a good take from Jones there. He's going to watch ball 4 and walk over there to first base. And this is going to bring up your walk-off man last night, number 42, James Green.
Now batting, the Left fielder, number 42.
Green lined out to the first baseman in the first inning and then grounded out to the second baseman, Logan Norris. And for whatever reason, it was a strike, but Green, crowding the plate, kind of flinched. That one he doesn't. Gets a hold of it, sends it to left field, and it's out of here.
And a home run for James Green as he puts a great swing onto one, and that's going to be his second bomb of the series, folks. It's going to be a 2-run backside blast to left field, and a great piece of hitting from number 42, James Green.
James Green with his 6th of the season. And his 6th in as many games. The old air raid siren for James Green as he puts one out of the park and 2 on the board. Jake Modrak singled and then grounded out in his second at-bat. One out, and the bases are empty after a 2-run homer from James Green. Evan Estes frames it back in and gets the called strike, 2-1. Infield playing back with 1 out. Jake Modrak shears that one off into the backstop.
Jake Modrak facing a 2-2 count here versus Jack Nash.
Kreiner on deck. Coach Mac Tulloch scurrying out of the way to not get hit by that foul ball. We'll have to tease him a little.
He'll be watching the stream later. He always does.
The 2-2 reached for it, hacks it into right field, but on the run is Riley Stiles, and he finds it.
It's been a couple of hard-hit balls from your catchers that have just been hanging in the air and being caught. 2 from Teo Costello in left center field, caught by the center fielder, and then that one there by Jake Modrak. So just seemed to carry and just live in the air, and Stiles is going to make the grab there.
Jack Nash going to get relief as he goes 97 pitches here in Game 2. As his teammates come out of the dugout to congratulate him on a good start. But the Hurricanes right now are starting to answer back as we get to the second half of the game. 2 runs just put up on the board a moment ago when James Green hit a bomb into left field. 2 runs came across as a result of that. And now we're going to have first reliever for the Yeti. Andrew Hart coming in. He's got 1 win to his record on 9 appearances. He's pitched 13 innings with 1 save, given up 8 hits, has 12 strikeouts, and a 170 opposing batting average for Hart. Given up 8 hits and 1 run on those 13 innings pitched. Facing 47 batters. Andrew Hart, a right-handed, red-shirted freshman out of Wexford, PA. He's 6 foot, 215 pounds. And he's going to look at Stephen Kreiner for the first time this afternoon. As Kreiner does the same toward him.
Now batting, the center fielder number 4, Steven Kreiner.
Andrew Hart misses outside, and Kreiner hacks off an inside fastball. Swing and a miss. Fastball chopped to the left side. 5-3.
And
He
he's going
beats
to
it out.
He's going to be safe. I knew Booker was going to have to make a strong throw there to get Kreiner, and it's a decent throw, but it's going to be in the dirt, and Kreiner's going to beat it out for the infield hit.
Soft bouncer on the left side from Stephen Kreiner, while Keontae Booker kind of sat back to play it, and he ran out of time as Kreiner's got the base path speed and the wheels to beat out a throw across the diamond. As strong as Booker may be, not enough to get the center fielder. Nick Lobello skies one in an elevator shaft to the shortstop, White. And that's going to leave a runner on as the Hurricanes and the Yeti go to the top of the 7th here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. A little over 40 people watching us live right now from all over the country. If you haven't chimed in on the live stream, let us know where you're watching from as the Yeti and Hurricanes face off in Game 2 of a 3-game set. And Game 1 of a doubleheader on a Saturday. Cleveland Community College from Shelby, North Carolina, came here yesterday morning, warmed up in the afternoon for a 6 o'clock start in Game 1. Ben Blondino on the bump as the first reliever. He's effectively gone 5 innings, or at least starting his 5th, as he came in the 2nd to relieve Simon Martone much earlier than anticipated. Burns skies one to Modrak, two-handed catch, almost on top of home plate, just in fair territory.
And Modrak going to make the put out to pick up the first out of the inning.
You don't get to write FO2 in the book too often.
No, sir, you don't.
Though, as I say that, Modrak actually did catch one in foul territory right up against the screen earlier in the game. And Mason White gets plunked.
Looked like the breaking ball may have just got it away from him there. And
Owen Liberto now steps in. Liberto has struck out twice, but started off in his first at-bat with a single. He went down swinging and then looking. The old window shopper. He rides that one into left center field. James Green comes in front of Steven Kreiner, calls him off, and makes the catch in left center field. So 2 out with a runner on first. We're back to the top of the order for the Yeti, Keontae Booker. Booker with a couple of walks, then a strikeout looking, then a fly out to Slowinski at short. Booker definitely has a big athletic build for a third baseman, a little bit like Shadle in that regard. Definitely got the frame and the height to go on in his baseball career. The 1-1. Just under the left elbow.
Booker struck out in his last appearance versus Blondino. And Blondino going to look to get on the mound and do the same thing again.
Hard hit left side. Slowinski backhanded, and he gets him 6-3. What an amazing throw from Evan Slowinski across the diamond, deep in the hole, backhanded. And he's going to get some high fives from his teammates as he goes into the dugout to bring up his teammates at the plate. Teo Costello, followed by Colin Cusick, and the man himself, Evan Slowinski, who just made that terrific 6-3 play. Louisburg College baseball being brought to you this season in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, communities, families, and farms for over 40 years, and Mangum Insurance Agency with offices in Coates and Dunn, products for every occasion, and Johnny's Barbecue, specializing in Eastern North Carolina, whole hog barbecue right here in Louisburg, North Carolina. Stop in and let them know that the Hurricanes sent you. Found out about him watching the Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. Trying to bring you every home game right here on LSN via YouTube. Last night, Caden Lazley riding solo. This afternoon, we're tag teaming it for 2 games, back-to-back doubleheader. As the Hurricanes and the Yeti face off in a 3-game homestand set for the Hurricanes. Top of the order, Teo Costello.
Tay Costello, your DH for tonight. He's going to lead off this inning.
Couple of fly balls, and there's a third as it gets to the fence, one bounce in left field. And he's going to be on a horse into second base as a stand-up double to start it off.
And Teo Costello has put some amazing swings on the balls there, and I believe that's the first one that's going to drop for the night. He's had 2 very hard hit balls to the center fielder, and then that one's just going to get over the left fielder's head for a stand-up double.
He's batting .409 for a reason, and his on-base percentage leads the team as he does the work of a leadoff hitter, getting on base repeatedly with 25 stolen bases as well to his name. Andrew Hart deals a first pitch to Colin Cusick that's glides across a little too far and misses the strike zone. The 1-0 foul tip into the glove of Evan Estes. Evens up the count. No outs, 1 ball, 1 strike, and a runner on second. Hart deals, and he finds the low and away corner. Colin Cusick's dissatisfaction. I don't know what he said, but I could read his body language. The 1-2. Swung on, slapped, shallow center field. Oncoming, though, is Tanner Britt, and he makes the catch. Costello holds put at second.
Now batting number 6, Evan Slowinski.
Slowinski with a variety of outcomes at the plate. He flied out to left field, he got walked, and then he grounded out to second. He's due for a productive hit. And the first pitch from Hart. Hit hard to the shortstop, backhanded by White. He spins around and throws it across. And Owen Liberto unable to hold on to it, though he keeps it in front of him. And Evan Slowinski might have just beat that one out, even if he did, as Teoa Costello reaches third on an infield base hit for Evan Slowinski.
Number 30, Timmy Shadle.
Mason White deep in the hole at short, spun around, made the throw. It looked good. And Liberto tried to come up with it. At least he kept it in front of him and kept Costello from scoring. But the Hurricanes looking for every run they can get. Hart deals. And Shadle takes a called strike from the big right-hander. Wexford, PA. I have to look that up. I can't say I know where that is in the state of Pennsylvania. Shadle swings over the top of a breaking ball from Andrew Hart. 1 out, runners on the corners. And Hart deals that breaking ball that goes away from Shadle, but can't find the strike zone, and Shadle holds off.
It's going to miss for the first ball of this at-bat here to Shadle. Looked like the same spot there to me. It's going to miss for ball 2, going to even it up at 2-2 here.
2-2, 1 out. Runners on the corners. Hurricanes trailing by 2. Hart deals. Shadle pops one into right. Oncoming is Stiles. Dives down onto his stomach to make the catch, but Costello tags and scores. So the Hurricanes now within 1 run, the tying on second. While Shadle reached, actually, I guess I was mistaken. Stiles unable to come up with that in the air. Kept it in front of him on 1 bounce, even though he dove in for it.
Looked like to us up here in the booth that Stiles made the grab in right field, but they're gonna call it a drop baseball, and Shadle's gonna get to stay at first base, and that run's gonna come in, and it wouldn't have mattered if he tagged up or not.
If only we had instant replay to show that and a camera tracking the action in right field as Riley Stiles came in, made a terrific face-first dive into an oncoming bloop single from Kenny Shadle, but just couldn't come up with it. Grandparents watching from Florida and Ohio. Evan Estes, the catcher for the Cleveland Yetis, chiming in. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you joining our broadcast. Love to hear from everybody else who's out there, making up the 52 different people that are watching. As the Hurricanes and the Yeti facing off in Game 2 of a 3-game set, but Game 1 of a 2-game doubleheader. And Anthony Jones, the first baseman for the Hurricanes, steps in. His first pitch from Andrew Hart, a called strike fastball down the heart of the plate. 1 out, runners first and second, a 1-run game. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Hart deals. Jones cuffed on the hands, and Cleveland infield, goes for the force at first to get Jones, and that'll push runners second and third. Kind of a swinging bunt from Jones down the right first base line.
Maybe a little more power on it, and it gets through that 3-4 hole for a perfect hit and run. And they're going to intentionally walk James Green.
James Green homered in his last at-bat, and he homered in a walk-off win here last night at Frazier Field, the historic Frazier Field of Louisburg College. More titles to their name than can be counted.
And I don't know if this is the decision you want to make here if you're the Yetis. This is going to bring up one of the hottest hitters in Region 10 in Jake Modrak.
Modrak's batting .344 as he comes into the game. He singled, grounded out, and flied out. There's only a few more different outcomes he could produce here at the plate. And that one, another foul ball out of the park. Modrak not afraid to swing the bat.
Modrak's seeing it well.
The 0-2 outside. Bases loaded now with 2 out. The Yeti hoping for an easy infield ground ball, but the Hurricanes, they're looking to do damage with a 1-run deficit and the bases loaded up. The pitch, a breaking ball, swing and a miss. Leaves 3 stranded.
Troy Daniels going to come in to play second base in relief of Colin Cusick.
Two innings to go here in Game 2 of the 3-game set. And Game 1 of a doubleheader on a Saturday here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. You're watching NJCAA Region 10 baseball, the regular season, as Cleveland Community College faces off against Louisburg in Louisburg, North Carolina. Battle for second place is on right now with a 1-run game. Last night, the decision in favor of the Hurricanes took them into sole possession of second place behind the Catawba Valley Redhawks, and the Hurricanes now looking to hold on to second place with a win and come from behind in the late innings. Ben Blondino still on the bump, towing the slab as we start the top of the 8th. He is the first reliever of the game, and he's effectively gone 6 innings in total as we start the 8th. Evan Estes now steps in, swings at the first pitch from Blondino and skies it out of play. Estes singled, hit by a pitch, grounded out, and walked in his 4 at-bats.
Blondino with a 1-1 count, deals. Pitch gonna miss, just away.
The 2-1, swung on, fouled out of play, will even up the count at 22. The 2-2, hacked foul down the left field line, bouncing off the protective screen for the dugout right at Kenny Shadle. He barehanded that one. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped to Slawinski at short. 6-3.
Very good athletic play by Slawinski there as he's going to wait on it and make a very strong throw over there to Anthony Jones to pick up the first out.
Logan Norris grounded out to Colin Cusick in his last at-bat. He singled to start off in the first, then struck out and singled again, and then grounded out as just mentioned. Left-handed second baseman, or left-handed hitting second baseman. The 1-0, and he gets plunked. Activity in the bullpen for the Hurricanes, but head coach Blake Herring, he's holding tight on that safety screen in the Hurricanes dugout. He's not seemingly concerned at this point for Blondino. Popped up, right side, Colin Cusick, and he's camped under it. I take that back, Troy Daniels for Cusick. We saw Daniels a few weeks ago, took quite a few game reps at second base when there was some illness going through the team. And Cusick was being covered by Troy Daniels. And Blondino's first offering to Riley Stiles just misses. Stiles came in for Gage Doss. Fly ball, Nick Lobello on a run in right field. He gets under it. Runner left on. Kreiner, Lobello, and Costello coming up for the Hurricanes as we're starting the bottom of the 8th inning in a 9-inning game 2 out of 3 and game 1 of a doubleheader. As the Louisburg College Hurricanes take on the Cleveland Community College Yetis at home here at the historic Frazier Field. Coach Russell Frazier just outside the door many times for the home games. He oversaw many a championship team here at Louisburg in his career. And now Coach Blake Herring just crossed the 250 win mark in his 9 years here at Louisburg. Kreiner hacks off a fastball from Andrew Hart.
Gonna even it up here at 1-1.
Lobello on deck, Costello doubled up behind him, and Kreiner battling now with Hart. Hart throws a hard fastball, but it rides up. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Kreiner goes down on a breaking ball from Andrew Hart.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 39, Nick LaBello.
LaBello 0 for 3. He's due on the day.
And pitch going to miss just away there to LaBello. LaBello going to look to get on base and start some action here for your Hurricanes.
And the breaking ball under the bat of LaBello, 1-1. Hart at 28 pitches, deals, and the 12-6 does not come down enough for a called strike. Crew chief Justin Edwards, field umpire, and LaBello plunked field umpire Josh Nayadak. Making the calls around the infield.
The designated hitter, number 13, Taylor Costello.
Costello with the double in his last at-bat to start off the last inning. A little bit of a drop-in off-speed from Hart. Gets Costello to look at a first pitch called strike. 1 out and a runner on first. And the pickoff from Hart, kind of half-hearted, no pun intended.
Definitely not his best move there. Don't know what he's trying to accomplish by throwing over to first base to try to get LaBello right there. And breaking ball, going to miss down and away to Taylor Costello. It's going to even it at 1-1. So you got ones across the board here with a runner on first.
LaBello back with plenty of time. Picks up a jersey full of dirt. Have to ask, Nick wears the white hoodie no matter what. One bouncer back to Hart. 1-4-3 double play.
I think the hoodie thing is kind of like an alter ego for Nick. He wears it every game, and it's kind of like a superstition for him.
Hurricanes need to make something happen in the 9th inning like they did yesterday, but for right now, they have to take down the Yeti before they can score any more runs, as we're about to start the top of the 9th inning here at Frazier Field and Louisburg College campus. Coincidentally, Louisburg, North Carolina, home to the Louisburg College Hurricanes. As previously mentioned, Louisburg College baseball being brought to you in part this year by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, Mangum Insurance Agency, and the Johnny's Barbecue here in North Carolina, in Louisburg, North Carolina. They do indeed specialize in Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue. Haven't had it yet myself, but I hear it's mighty tasty. First pitch, fly ball, Steven Kreiner, a few steps to his right. Makes it look easy. One pitch, 1 out. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Hurricanes as Tanner Britt flies out to the center fielder to start the top of the 9th inning. And Landon Burns steps in. He flied out to Jake Modrak in his last at-bat.
And Kreiner gets a ball hit to him in center field and kind of glides over there to it and makes the grab for the first out.
Breaking ball from Blondino. And he gets Landon Burns to swing and miss as the bottom drops out of it. Right back, one bounce. Slowinski across. 6-3. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Can't argue with that kind of inning. Unless you're on the receiving end of it.
Yeah. Hopefully he can keep it going here and get this third out.
Mason White, he was plunked in his last at-bat, but he flied out to James Green, and he also struck out. He takes a late swing at a fastball from Ben Blondino. Blondino, kind of the reverse starter, if you will. He has gone 105 pitches as we're in the 9th inning, and only the second arm of the game.
Blondino's adrenaline definitely pumping.
And he plunks him for the second time.
He really doesn't like that kid.
Well, I'm sure Mason White just has a magnetic personality.
Or a magnetic helmet.
That too. Or bat. 2 outs, runner on first. Ben Blondino squaring off against Owen Liberto. Liberto flied out to left field, and this time looks like he's going to fly out to center. Sky high.
And Kreiner's going to be camped under it to make the grab and put away Liberto for the third out of the inning.
Not that any of these young men would know the expression last call for alcohol, but we're going into the bottom of the 9th inning like the Louisburg Hurricanes did yesterday. Looking to walk it off with a 1-run deficit. If they can scratch 2 across the plate in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be 2 in a row. They're only trailing by 1 as we go into the bottom of the 9th.
New pitcher on the mound for the Cleveland Yetis. It's gonna be number 27, Liam Foley. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's got a posted .71 ERA with 1 win and 2 losses throughout 11 appearances. 12.2 innings pitched with 11 hits given up, 1 run, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 10 strikeouts. The opposing team's batting average off Mr. Foley is posted .244. Foley standing in about 6 foot, 190 pounds, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina.
No better time than the present to remind our viewing audience this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Louisburg College baseball team may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Louisburg College baseball. Troy Daniels now coming in for Colin Cusick at second base. And in the order, looks at a breaking ball. One count now on the leadoff batter, Daniels. Foley deals the 1-2, and Daniels skies that one out of play. Daniels batting .265 on 19 game appearances.
That's a pretty tight two-seam there by Mr. Foley.
Foley's fastball rides up on Daniels.
He's got a bit of a sidearm, 3/4 arm slot.
Popped up right side, first baseman, Estes. I'm sorry, Liberto. Owen Liberto.
Now back, number 6, and then Slowinski.
Slowinski with the single in his last at-bat. He also was walked and had a couple of outs, ground out and a fly out. The 1-0. Gets the inside. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Home plate umpire calls out to Josh Nayadek for the call and says that Slowinski held up.
Is Slowinski going to be... Now Slowinski going to be in the 2-2 count with 1 out, no runners on.
That sidearm spinner starts inside and then works its way across. The 2-2. Inside corner gets him looking. Definitely an optical illusion for the batter to see that pitch going the opposite direction, then it just turns right back inside. Got to be somewhere in the 18 to 20 inches of horizontal travel coming off the hand of Liam Foley.
Definitely a good pitch.
Shadle, see what he can do with it. He watches a fastball that rides up. My guess, Foley will go right back to that sidearm. And he does, but he goes outside. Now Shadle with the advantage, 2-0 with 2 out. Anthony Jones on deck. The 2-0. And that one misses too low for crew chief Justin Edwards to call a strike. But it definitely had the sidearm motion and that horizontal travel. The 3-0. And he draws the walk.
Now back, the first baseman, number
Jones got
10,
caught up in an infield sack when he swung at a tight pitch on his hands. Kept the ball on the right side and allowed runners to advance the last time he was up.
And that fastball from Foley is running in into right-handed batters. It's he's got some pretty good movement on that 2-seam.
Missed a little bit high there, and now he's about to deal the 1-0. Jones reaches down for it, hacks it foul into the Yetis dugout. Shadle on first. He just drew a walk with 2 outs, and the 1-1. And that just misses downstairs on Jones. The 2-1. And that goes right down the middle after a little bit of a wiggly start off the hand of Liam Foley. The 2-2 swung on, grounded, foul ball, says home plate umpire Justin Edwards. Boy, that looked close as Keontae Booker reached for it in foul territory. We need one of those aerial cameras down over third base to see if that really crossed in foul territory.
You got the lucky 2s here.
The 2-2, and that gets past Estes. And Shadle now down at second. A lot of conversation between both dugouts, even Coach
Elijah Monsanto going to come in and pinch run here for Kenny Shadle. It's a very smart decision on Coach Herron's behalf. He's going to put in a very solid base runner in Monsanto in here in the bottom of the 9th.
with a full count and 2 outs. This is all or nothing right now for the Hurricanes. As Anthony Jones steps back in, the sophomore right-handed two-way player. The full count, swing and a miss. So the first of a doubleheader goes to the Yeti, but they now are 1-1 as the Hurricanes picked up last night with a walk-off. The Yeti hold on to a 1-run lead after 9 innings here in game 1 of a doubleheader, but game 2 of 3 total. So stay tuned. In about 35-40 minutes, we'll be back on the air with the second game of today, but third of the weekend, as we'll wrap up this homestand set between Cleveland Community College and Louisburg College Hurricanes. We'll be back, but for at least this game, and for Caden Lasley, Coach Herring, the entire Louisburg College baseball team, I'm Bill Martone. We'll see you back here in about 35 minutes.